The first time I went to a Gaga concert was literally like a Pride event. It was unreal. Hey, I'm Chelcee Grimes.
And I'm Courtney
And we are the new hosts of the new podcast, Building Queertopia.
And today we're going to have a chat to each other and ask each other some questions, a little getting to know you.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Courtney, what is the national anthem of Queertopia?
Oh, that is way too hard. I know these are questions that we ask our guests, but I feel like between the two of us, we could write an original national anthem.
Now you're talking my language. I can already hear it. We can mix Kylie with Little Nas.
Yeah.
Who else is going in there?
Definitely some Madonna, definitely some Gaga.
Oh, yeah, I mean, loads of my friends are Celine Dion fans as well. I've got to get some one note in there.
My ex-boyfriend's Canadian, so he'll appreciate that.
Alright, we're just going to mesh all the best people in there then and play our own, yeah?
I like that.
Okay.
Chelsea, what piece of art or literature or TV or a film do you want to bring?
I feel like you could answer this for me. What am I
Chelsea wants to bring the L word. But she doesn't want to say it.
I hate myself for it, but it's got to be the L word. I recently just watched the new season again, just because I'm still not over it. So the L word.
The L word's coming. Pose is coming. Queer as Folk is coming. It's a Sin is coming.
So what building are you bringing, or are we creating in Queertopia?
This one I can do. I think we need more non-alcohol related queer spaces and non 18 plus, like all ages or like underage or just like things that aren't so centered around nightlife and booze.
Yeah, and I've just got sober, so I'm all for that.
You're all for that.
In Queertopia, every single building would be a colour. Imagine how pretty that would look. Instagrammable, like to the max. So Courtney, what would you make a daily or weekly ritual in Queertopia?
Gratitude. I have, I used to be a lot more woo-woo, and back in my woo-woo years, the only thing that I really kept from then is the idea of keeping a gratitude journal. So each night before I go to bed, I write down 5 things that I was grateful for. And it just helps me at the end of the day, regardless of what's going on, to focus on the things that I'm grateful for in my life, because it's so easy to get distracted and focus on negative things, and just kind of it just pivots me a little bit towards a better direction. And I do it before I go to bed and I have sweet dreams.
100%. What about you? It's so funny because I was thinking about this just a few days ago, and I think throughout the day, maybe it's a weekly thing or maybe it's a daily thing, in Queertopia there could be a sound that goes out, and we just meditate for a minute.
Oh yeah.
And we just kind of gratitude, I guess, but just everyone has a minute a day to just...
So, have you ever experienced anything that's close to a queer utopia?
Lady Gaga concert. The first time I went to a Gaga concert was literally a Pride event. It was unreal. What about you?
I reckon mine would probably be at Burning Man, which is a big music festival, well, a big art festival in the middle of the desert in the United States. And it's just this, it's not specifically queer, but it's almost quite queer because it's throw away what you know of the world and just come and live here and for a week and just, I don't know, everybody's just so nice and lovely and kind of acts like you wish human beings acted all the time.
Okay, so what is your big idea for Queertopia?
I guess this is kind of obvious, but my big idea for Queertopia is that everybody is free to be exactly who they are. And I think more than that, we don't grow up with the expectations of gender or sexuality. We don't grow up with the same constructs surrounding race and ability and faith and all those sorts of things. And people are just able to pick up and put down whatever they want and try things on and see what fits and just go from there, rather than having these sort of fixed, rigid ideas about man, woman, even gay, straight, cis, trans. We've made binaries out of things that were not meant to be binaries. So I think my big idea is no binaries as we sit here on the couch in pink and blue. What about you?
For me, I think one thing I've learned is, growing up and finding myself and my sexuality and being okay and comfortable with myself. I always felt alone at times and I was the only one. And what I found even meeting you and all the guests that we've already spoken to, and I guess we will speak to, is we've all had, journeys or run into sometimes not so nice people. So in Queertopia, before you even step foot on our planet, world, whatever we're calling it, there's going to be a detector, kind of like in the airport, and you walk through, and if you don't get in, so I'm going to have a detector on Queertopia. So no it's allowed. So Courtney, what do you think we can do right now to make real life more like Queertopia?
I mean, I think we're doing it. I think this podcast is it. This is like the seed planting for the eventual. Have we decided whether Queertopia is a planet? Is it a planet?
It's a planet, it's a place, it's a utopia, whatever you want it to be. But that is right, because if this podcast was around when I was growing up, I would be
just hearing all the different stories. It's so like beautiful, getting to hear lots of different experiences, and then think about like so many different ideas haven't necessarily related to who I am, but have related to the queer experience. And you're like, I haven't thought about that before.
Yeah, I think I've learned more in this podcast than school.
Yeah, but it's also like good getting out of that bubble. Like we're still in like a big queer echo chamber, but it's kind of like it's still like outside the normal little bubble, which I really like. Like talking about like queer families and queer education and all of these queer topics.
Queer topics and Queertopia.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.